Hi there, welcome to live stream Yoga with Louise, tips and cues to keep you safe and strong on the mat. Today's yoga class is all about building strength. We are going to be working into the whole body with particular attention to the legs. I want you to move with strong, sure movements on the mat today. You can elect to add in a small cardio vinyasa as we transition between the right and the left side of the body when we come to our main set. As always, I'd like you to really play where you're comfortable, modify your movements where you need to, using props where appropriate, and feeling comfortable to take a chill out in child pose at any time, should you need it. You ready to play? Let's hit the mat. We're going to set up for today's class standing towards the top end of the mat with enough room for you to step back. Bring your feet in so that they're just inside of hip width distance apart. You're standing in a nice parallel stance. Tuck your tailbone under, pull your belly button in and drop the arms long and heavy at your side. Take a big breath in to prepare, and on the exhale, nod your chin to your chest, rounding out through your belly as you peel down one vertebra at a time, giving me a soft little uttanasana, soft little forward fold. Peel back up again to your start position, and as you restack and realign your body, tuck both hands behind your head in a surrender-like fashion. Take a big breath in, and on an exhale, drop one elbow just off center. Inhale to come back towards the center line. Drop the other elbow down towards the floor. Peel back towards the center line and place both hands on your hips. Bring your left knee up. Drop it back down, take it out to the side, and then start tracing 3 big circular patterns with that leg. Then come back to your standing stance. Rinse and repeat on the other side. Knee to nose, knee to the side, 3 big circles. Come back to your standing frame, nod your chin to your chest. We're going to rinse and repeat. Give me a small little roll down into Uttanasana. Peel back up again into your standing frame. Tuck both hands behind your head in a surrender-like fashion. Dip off center to the one side, to the other side. Place your hands on your hips. Knee to nose. Knee to the side, 3 big circular traces, opening up externally through those hips. Knee to nose, knee to the side, 3 big circles. Find your standing frame, nod your chin to your chest, peel down, hollow out through the belly as you peel down. Restack and realign as you come up. Tuck the hands behind your head. Dip off the center line, taking a mini side stretch to each side. Place your hands on your hips. Knee to nose, knee to the side, 3 big circles. Change legs. Knee to nose, knee to the side, 3 big circles. Let's do that twice more. Nod your chin to your chest, peel down, lots of control through the spine and the core as you come into your forward fold. Peel it back up into your standing frame, hands behind the head. Dip off the center line on each side. Place your hands on your hips, knee to nose, knee to the side, 3 big circles. Repeat on the other side, knee to nose, knee to the side, 3 big circles. Last one, nod your chin to your chest, peel down, getting a nice little release into the lower back and a soft little stretch into the shoulders. Tuck the hands behind your head, dip off the center line. Hands on the hips, knee to nose, knee to the side. Open up through those hips as you trace those 3 little circles. Knee to nose, knee to the side, 3 big circles. Let's start transitioning into sun salutation A. Make sure that you've got enough room to step back. Find your narrow samasthiti with your feet just inside of hip width distance apart. Float your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Take a big breath in and give me a gentle back bend, floating your hands overhead. Soften through the knees as much as you need to step back into a plank. Release the knees, relax your feet. Bend through the elbows, but hug them in towards your ribs, giving me a soft little caterpillar to land on your belly. Come straight into a little cobra line, peeling up, bottom ribs still connected to the mat, elbows tucked in, stay, or push up into an up dog, weight into the palms and the bridges of your feet. Tuck your toes under, give me a walking down dog. Start opening up and stretching through the back chain of the legs. Step up the right leg and then the left, stacking underneath the hips to peel it up. Hands to heart center. Big breath in, take a back bend. Exhale and fold forward, step back into a plank. Relax your knees and your feet. Caterpillar down straight into your cobra. Stay or transition to up dog. And then pike your bum up to the ceiling, tuck your toes under, find your down dog, and take it for a little walk. Step up the left and then the right leg. Peeling up along the center line. Let's rinse and repeat. Big breath in, take a back bend. Exhale to fold forward. Bend the knees as much as you need to step back into a plank. Relax to the knees, release your feet. Bend the elbows, bring it down with control, finding your way into cobra. Bleeding into an up dog, and then taking it into a little walking down dog. Step up right and then the left. Peel up. Hands to heart center. Last time on the left. Fold it forward. Ease back into your plank. Find your way to the knees. Ease your way down onto the belly, stopping in a cobra. Transitioning to an up dog. And then bleeding seamlessly into a walking down dog. We're going to transition into sun B. Step up one leg at a time. Peel up along the center line, hands to heart center. Keep your feet hip width distance apart or heel toe them in, big toes and ankles together. Take a big breath in to prepare. On the exhale, bump the weight back into your bum and your heels as you come into chair, Utkatasana. Fold forward and pause. Take a big step back with your right leg and pause in a lunge line, maybe gently rocking the weight back and forth if you're still very tight in the groin area. And then scooch up your back leg and give me a narrow pyramid, trying to place both hands on the floor or maybe just hanging from the waist if you prefer. Ease your way into a plank line from here. Full chaturanga from plank, or you can use the knees for support as we did in Sun A. Bend through the elbows, easing your way onto the belly, coming straight into an up dog, and then tucking your toes under and holding the down dog frame. Soften the right leg, swing it through to the inside of the right hand, drop the back leg to 90, and windmill your frame open, opening up the arms into a soft T. Tuck your back toe under, pivot to face the front of the mat, framing your ears on either side with the hands, and then drop the hands to the mat as you step back into a plank. Use the knees if you need to, chaturanga down with control, ease into an up dog, and then bleed seamlessly into a down dog. Step up one leg at a time or come up onto the fingertips and give me a little bunny hop forward. Sit straight back into your chair, float your hands overhead, and then peel back up along the center line. Take a big breath in to prepare. Gently sit back into that chair. Wait until your bum and your heels. Fold it softly forward, trying to connect those hands a little bit every time you drop to the mat. Take a big step back with the left leg, maybe gently swaying in that lunge line, Sarsangustasana. And then gently scooch up the back leg, coming into a narrow pyramid, Parsvottanasana. Really trying to get a stretch of both legs, so try to keep both legs extended with no bend at this time. Soften through the knees and ease your way into your plank line. Chaturanga down with control. Ease your way into an up dog, and then bleed seamlessly into a down dog. Soften the left knee, step it up. If the leg gets stuck on the mat, no worries. Gently grab it, wiggle or step it forward. Make sure you've got knee over ankle. Drop the back leg to 90. Windmill your frame open. Extend through your fingertips. Touch the wall in front, the wall behind. Tuck your back toe under. Give me a modified warrior one, really opening up through the hip flexors and the groin. Drop your hands to the mat and ease your way into a plank. Using knees or no knees, chaturanga down, finding your way into an up dog, and then bleeding seamlessly into a down dog. Step or give me a little hop. Plant your feet firmly in the mat and sit back into that chair, floating your hands overhead. Bring your hands to heart center. We're going to do one more full round of Sun B. Big breath in. On an exhale, find your seat. Utkatasana. Softly fold it forward in Uttanasana, trying to drop a little bit lower to the floor every time you come to the forward fold. Take a big step back with the right leg. Staying in your lunge line or rocking if you need to. Scooch up the back leg and find that narrow pyramid shape between the two legs, trying to really drop the hands to the mat if you can, or holding a tabletop line. You could even brace your hands on the hips if you like. Ease your way back into your lunge line and transition into a plank. Using knees or no knees, chaturanga down to the mat, flowing into your up dog, and then transitioning into your down dog. Soften the right leg, kick it up behind you, maybe swing it through, drop the back leg to 90, and ease your way into Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Tuck your back toe under pivot, face the front of the mat, trying to drop lower and really open up through the groin. Frame the lead leg and step back into a plank. Chaturanga down using knees or no knees. Find your way into up dog and then transition into down dog. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Once your feet connect to the mat, sit back into that chair and float your hands overhead. Hands to heart center as you float back up to your standing frame in mountain. Last time on the left. Exhale as you sit back into chair. Softly fold it forward. Trying to open up those kinks along the back chain of the leg. Take a big step back into a lunge line on the left. Stay or rock. Make it yours. Scooch up that back leg and ease your way into a pyramid. Find your way back into your plank line from here, maybe softening through the knees and stepping back. Using no knees or some knees for support as you chaturanga down into an up dog and then bleed seamlessly into a down dog. Soften the left leg, swing it through to the inside of the left hand, drop the back leg to 90, windmill your frame open, giving you a nice parallel frame to the mat. Tuck your back toe under, pivot, face the front, drop the hands to the mat and ease your way into a plank. Chaturanga down using knees or no knees. Find your way into up dog and then transition seamlessly into your down dog. Step or hop to the front of the mat. Give me your last little chair. And then hands to heart center. We're going to start playing with our little primary sequence and we can build in that little vinyasa as we transition between the right and the left side of the body. You're going to begin for me by finding your way into a Warrior 1 line on the right. Take a big step back, and as you step back, turn the back toes in slightly at 45, scooch the front foot forward, and float your hands overhead. Keep lengthening towards the ceiling, trying to drop nice and low through the groin. Try to keep both hip bones looking towards the front of the mat as you find a Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Pause here for at least 5 solid breaths sinking into the movement. And then let's have some fun with the Warrior 1. Drop the left hand behind your back, reaching for the right hip bone, and take a gentle arc through the spine as you look up towards the ceiling. Then float both hands overhead. We're going to come into a little balancing challenge from here, and you can keep the hands overhead at your hips or float them behind you, whichever works best for you. You're going to transition to a Warrior 3, launch off the back foot. If you need to, tap your toe to the mat and find your balance on the mat. First, when you're ready, hinge forward from the waist, trying to keep your shoulders and your hips nice and parallel to the mat. Then step back into your Warrior 1 line, but keep both legs extended. We're going to come into a triangle. Open up the arms into a beautiful T frame. Pretend somebody's pulling your front arm forward. Pop out the back hip and hinge forward, trying to find a resting spot on the inside of your leg, or maybe using a block, finding the resting spot on the block and opening up the top arm to the ceiling. Play with it. See what works best for you. Then let's extend the triangle. Focus on the top arm, bring it overhead. Try to pierce the wall in front of you. Try to give me a beautiful long line through the wrist, the arm, the shoulder, the ribs, the hip. Let's rotate it. Cross over the midline of the body, grabbing hold of maybe your shin or placing the fingertips on the floor or using the block behind you, and give me a soft rotation, thinking soft T-frame through the arms. Try to keep both legs extended. Keep pulling the belly button softly as you bring it into Parivrtta Trikonasana. Rotated triangle. From here, you're going to gently find your way into a plank line, easing back into child and taking a time out or play with your vinyasa. From your plank, chaturanga down, flowing from your up dog into your down dog. If you were in child pose, find your way to down dog. Take a big step forward with the left leg to the inside of the left hand. Scooch up the back leg to about 45 and come up into your warrior one line on side two. Wiggle the legs further apart. Find your stance on the mat. Make sure you've got the whole back foot firmly grounded into the mat and that the toes and the forefront of the foot is not peeling up off the mat. Then gently float the right arm down. Cross over, reach for the opposite hip, giving me a slight crescent shape in the back as you peep up to the ceiling. Keeping the left hand floating. Come back to your original position or place the hands on the hips. Float the arms behind you if you need to. Play where you're comfortable. You're going to step up using your back toe if you need to. Fold forward. Find your warrior three line. Play with it. See what works for you. Step back. Check that you've got your warrior one line and then straighten out both legs and give me a T frame through the arms. Somebody's gently pulling you forward. Pop out the back hip. Hinge forward. Use a block on the floor if you need to, or push with the back of your hand against the inside of your leg. If you've got the range of motion, drop your fingertips or your palms to the floor, but try not to lean into the mat. Grow through the top arm and give me as much length towards the ceiling as you can manage. Then bring that top arm in closer towards your ear line. Try to pierce the wall overhead. Really lengthen through the hips and the ribs on the top side of the body. And then cross over the midline of the body, grabbing hold of your shin, the floor, or placing a block on the floor behind you as you gently rotate your triangle. Keep the belly button softly pulled in to the center line. Ease your way from here into a plank, taking a time out in child or running through the vinyasa. Bend through the elbows, transition into your up dog, and then find your way into your down dog. If you were in child, find your way into a down dog frame. From here, we're going to ease into a warrior two line. Soften the right leg, swing it through to the inside of the right hand. Drop the back leg to 90 and try to drop your hips as low to the floor as you can as you open up into a beautiful T-frame. Try not to lean forward, so try to keep your weight coming down evenly through the pelvis towards your mat. Let's rotate and play with that a little bit. So drop your back hand to the back thigh and frame your head softly with the lead arm. Give me a soft bend in the elbow and think of gently looking up towards that palm if you can. Then float back down, this time placing your hand on the inside of the right foot if you can, or reaching for a block if you need to, finding a resting spot and floating the top arm to the ceiling. Try to drop your hips as low to the floor as you can comfortably manage as you find your little side angle. And then some play options here. Play with it, see what your body's feeling like today. Bring that top arm in closer towards your ear, reaching for the wall overhead, or ease your way into a little bind by dropping the bottom elbow, trying to drop as much of the elbow and the shoulder through. Tuck the hand through behind your bum and reach the other hand behind your back, trying to drop both bum cheeks nice and low to the floor. Keep dropping that groin down as low to the floor as you can, maybe gently looking up to the ceiling if you can. Ease your way from here back into a plank line, either taking a time out in child or running through your vinyasa, transitioning from your plank to your up dog and then your down dog. If you were in child, ease your way into a down dog frame. Soften the left leg, kick it up behind you. Nice little three-legged dog. Swing it through. Drop your back leg to 90. Windmill your frame open. Lengthen through both sets of fingertips. Try and drop nice and low to the floor. Check that you're not leaning forward. Drop your back hand to your back leg and gently think of framing, looking up towards your lead palm. Then drop all the way down, left hand to the inside of the left leg. Think soft T-frame through the arms. Use a block underneath that hand if you need to. Don't lean aggressively into the mat. Keep lengthening through the top arm. Bring that top arm over as close or as flush to your ear as you can. Really coming out through the hips and the ribs. Stay or bind. Bending the bottom arm, tucking it through. Finding a little bear grip behind your back and trying to drop your pelvis as low to the floor as you can so that you can really feel that incredible opening happening through the groin. Ease your way from here into a plank line, taking a time out in child if you need to, or running through the vinyasa. If you were in child pose, ease your way to down dog. Soften the right knee, kick up the right leg behind you. Find a little three-legged dog, Tripada Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then think knee to nose and step up to the inside of the right hand. Drop your back knee and release the back foot to the mat. Peel up along the center line, stacking both palms one on top of the other behind your knee, and just gently lean forward, allowing the elbows to softly track out, and drop the shoulders away from your ears, pulling up softly along the inner thighs and then from the pubic bone towards your sternum. Drop both sets of fingertips either side of your lead leg, tuck the back toe under, extend the front leg, disconnecting the toes from the mat, almost softly hollowing out through the body, giving me a mini cat stretch. Fingertips softly connected to the mat. Keep that belly button firmly pulled in. And then ease your way back into your first lunge line, either keeping the toes tucked under with the knee on the floor or bringing that back knee up off the mat. As you come up, try not to lead into the front leg. Push back into the heel of the back leg and see if you can float the hands behind you. Think Titanic, or interlace the hands behind your back if you can, making a little fist and trying to drop the fist down between your bum cheeks towards the floor. At any time, you can drop to the back knee and foot if you need a little bit of an assist on the mat. Then relax the back knee, relax the back foot, or keep the toe tucked under. Frame your lead leg, come back into that little hamstring stretch. Walk your weight back, stopping when the back hip stacks over the knee. Disconnect the front toes, point them up to the ceiling. Maybe this time reaching with one hand or both hands for the undercarriage of the lead leg. Thinking of that little hollowed out frame and really trying to get an awesome stretch up that front leg. Ease your way from here back into the plank line, taking a time out in child pose if you need it, or running through the vinyasa. Chaturanga down, finding your up dog, and then transition into your down dog. If you were in child pose, find your way to down dog. Soften the left leg and kick up the left leg behind you. Pausing here for a second or two in the three-legged dog, bracing into both heels. Then think knee to nose on the left, swing that leg through to the inside of the left hand, drop your back, knee to the floor, relax the back foot. Peel up along the center line, finding your stack, not leaning aggressively in. So pretend that you've got a little piece of string that's pulling your crown up to the ceiling, and I want you to give me as much length through the spine as you can comfortably manage. Then drop both sets of hands either side of the lead leg, tuck your back toe under, almost hollow out your trunk as if you were wrapping your belly around a ball. Extend the front leg, little spider fingertips on the mat. Draw up along the inseam of the thighs and pull up strongly from the pubic bone towards your belly button. Find that inner thigh and that abdominal work. Creep your way back into your lunge line. Keep the back toe tucked under as you come up, or bring the knee up off the floor. Don't lean forward, push back. See if you can float both hands behind you, almost reaching for the wall behind you, or interlace. Palms coming as close together as you can, making a little fist, and dropping that fist down as you modify your crescent lunge, Anyanye Asana. Ease your way back to the mat, keeping the back toe tucked under. Round out, maybe reaching with one or both hands for the undercarriage of your foot, almost drawing and stretching through the ball of your foot. Ardha Hanumanasana, an awesome little hamstring stretch, especially if you were couch surfing over the weekend. Ease your way from here into a plank line, taking a time out in child or running through the vinyasa. If you were in child, find your way into down dog. Soften the right knee and kick up that right leg behind you. Find your three-legged dog first. Think knee to nose. This time as you swing through into a lunge line, try to keep the back knee off the floor. At any time, you can drop the knee down to the floor for support. Float up, pushing solidly back into that back heel, and float your hands into prayer, allowing the elbows to softly track out to the side of the room. Take a big breath in to prepare, and on the exhale, cross your left elbow over the right knee, tucking it behind the knee and keeping your hands firmly sandwiched in prayer. If you'd like to play, drop the bottom set of fingertips to the floor and the top set of fingertips up to the ceiling, opening up your body into a beautiful T-frame. If your inner pretzel is screaming for some playtime, tuck the bottom arm through the legs, wrap the other arm behind you, and see if you can come to a little bear grip behind your back, dropping the groin as low to the floor as you can comfortably manage. Play with it. See where your body wants to be today. Then gently unbind. Ease your way into a plank line. Take a time out in child, or run through the vinyasa, finding your plank line, chaturanga down with control, lead into an up dog, and then transition seamlessly into a down dog. Find your way into a down dog frame if you were in child. Soften the left leg and kick up into your three-legged dog. Swing through, think knee to nose. Keep your back knee off the mat if you can. Peel up along the center line, keep pushing back into that back heel and float your hands. Whisper softly into prayer. You should feel strong and sure when you come to your lunge line. Exhale to cross over, tucking elbow to opposite knee. Either staying here or dropping down into a soft T-frame, or finding your way into that bind by tucking the hand underneath between the legs and bringing your hands into a little bear grip behind your back. Gently peel your way from here back into your plank. Take a time out in child if you need it, or run through your vinyasa. Make it your own, play with the movement. If you were a child, ease your way into down dog. Kick up into your three-legged dog. Pause, really trying to kick through both heels. We're going to come into a one-legged plank from here, so you're going to straighten up And think knee to the outside of your right elbow and pause here. Nice and strong through the core. Then float the leg in, dropping the right leg to the mat and either lining up the knee and the ankle in a straight line or tucking the heel in closer to the perineum. Relax the front leg, release the back knee, release the back foot. Slide or creep the back leg away and ease your way down into a sphinx-like pose on the elbows or come into full extension, making your arms long and heavy on the mat. As you come down to the mat, close your eyes and take your focus in. Try to get a sense of what you're doing through the shoulders and the hips. Try to keep your shoulders and your hips nice and stacked to the floor. Then gently find your way back onto the palms, tuck your back toe under, and come up into a plank line. We're going to come into a side plank and then we're going to have some fun with it. Flip your weight to the right, knife edging both feet and stacking one foot on top of the other, opening up your top arm to the ceiling, and either staying here, you could bend the bottom leg and extend the top, and you could even bring it down onto the elbow of the bottom arm if you prefer. Find your stack, ready to play. Plant firmly into the top leg and bring the bottom leg in, reaching for that foot and coming into a pigeon line from the half plank. Hugging that foot in if you can. You could even make a little resting spot closer up, trying to tuck that foot in as close to your elbow as you can. Release from here into child. Take a little time out, maybe releasing those wrist lines. Staying in child or running through your vinyasa one last time. Chaturanga down, find your way from up dog into down dog. Everyone finds their way into a down dog frame. Soften the left leg and kick it up behind you. Think knee to elbow as you find your plank line and hold it nice and solid. Keep pushing the mat away. Then tuck into your pigeon line from here, finding the position on the lead leg that works for you, and then creeping or sliding your back leg down. Ease your way onto the elbows. Try to get a sense of the shoulders and the hips as you try to come into full extension in Ekapada Rayaka Potasana, one-legged pigeon. Keep the belly button softly pulled into center. Try to soften and relax. Resist the temptation to lean all of your weight into one bum cheek. Try to give me a nice even stance on the mat. Ready to play? Find your way back onto the forearms and then the palms. Ease your way into a nice strong plank. Don't collapse through the shoulders. Let's stack to the left, stacking one leg on top of the other, floating your top arm up to the ceiling. Keep your top leg firmly planted into the mat, bringing the bottom leg through, maybe reaching or tucking into the crook of your arm as you come into your modified pigeon plank. And then ease your way from here back into your plank. Take a little time out in child, releasing your wrist line with the elbow softly connected to the mat, or giving me a little vinyasa. Chaturanga down, flow from your up dog into your down dog. If you were in child, ease your way into down dog. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. You're almost using down dog as you would child to get a nice little awesome stretch into the whole body. Kick up into that three-legged dog on the right. One more time. Hold. You're going to think of that knee to elbow plank and pause here nice and strongly, trying to hold for at least 5 breaths. Push the mat strongly away and brace your core. Then tuck back into that pigeon line. One more time. But this time you're going to give me a high pigeon. So you're going to walk your hands back, trying to think of framing your lead leg on either side. Try to keep your shoulders and your hips nice and steady. If you can't find your position on the mat, you could take a block and try to tuck the one corner or the one edge of the mat where your bum crease is and gently just lean the weight into your block. Sit here, or rather balance here, nice and tall. Fingertips either connected to the mat, or we're going to play for a bit. You're going to gently think of creeping your hands back, maybe interlacing them behind your back and dropping that fist down between your bum cheeks. Or we're going to play with king pigeon if you prefer. So from your stance on the mat with the fingertips firmly connected, you're going to bend the knee of the extended leg and reach back with one or both hands, trying to tuck that heel in towards your bum. Either staying here or bringing it into full king pigeon by tucking that foot in, same elbow to foot, tuck it into the crook of your hand and see if you can float the other hand behind your back, making a little bear grip behind your back as you hold. And you could stop anywhere along that process, so maybe just finding the tuck and holding, keeping your hand on the mat for support if you need to, or just holding onto the foot with both hands. Play, see where your body wants to be. All right, wherever you were, if you had that block underneath your bum cheek on the right, feed the block out and lean into your right bum so that your right bum connects to the mat. Look over the back shoulder for that extended leg, reach for it, and bring the foot across the front knee. Wiggle your right foot out the way, make space for both of your bum cheeks on the mat, and come into a little half Lord of the Fishes, tucking elbow to the outside of the left knee, either giving me a little stop sign with the hand or dropping the fingertips long and lengthened to the mat. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. Awesome little spinal twist. Keep gently looking over that back shoulder and try not to lock out the back shoulder or the elbow. Keep a soft little micro bend in the joint of the elbow. We're going to bring it into Heron Crotchasana from here. Pivot to face the front of the mat and maybe tucking that right heel in closer towards your perineum as you reach for the undercarriage of your left foot. You could use a belt, a strap, or a hand towel around the foot if you need to, and place the right fingertips softly on the floor behind you as you open up gently, lengthening through the spine and taking a nice little stretch here through that left leg. Pause here for at least 5 solid breaths, and then we'll bring it into Hindulasana, rock the baby. You're going to bend the right arm and make a nice little crook in the right elbow, feeding the left foot into that crook. Maybe just gently holding on to the leg and bracing against the knee, or interlacing the hands and making a little basket and rocking your baby, opening up beautifully through the groin. Play with it, see what you can do with the body today. And then from here, we'll tuck into easy sit, Sukhasana, leading with that left leg in front. So drop the left leg in front of the right, tucking both heels in nice and close towards your perineum. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, softly fold forward to try and connect your fingertips, your palms, or your forearms to the mat. Or you could take a block, play with a block, and find a comfortable lean-in position that works for you. If you're nice and low to the mat, you can have some fun with the movement. Push the weight firmly down through the forearms and sink the weight into your bum bones as if somebody was standing behind you and pulling your hip line back so that you can feel an amazing activation on the outside chain of the left leg. Then creep both hands just off center to the left, maybe thinking of framing the left knee, and just making your crown as heavy to the floor as you can manage. Keep pushing through those palms and keep trying to almost draw your head closer to the floor. Ease your way back to the center line, pushing back through the hips and grounding through the forearms. And then creep both hands off center to the right, finding a frame for that right knee. Try to ground both of your bum bones into the mat. Your left bum bone is going to feel like it wants to keep disconnecting. Keep pushing weight back into that hip. Ease your way back to the center line. And from here, claw through your fingertips, come onto the knees, and either push back in child or run through your vinyasa. Find your way into plank. Chaturanga down. Lead from your up dog into your down dog. If you were a child, ease your way into down dog one last time. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a little stretch here. Make sure you stretch in the front and the back chain of your body, but don't lean everything into the arms. Draw the energy up through your fingertips, almost hollowing out through the palms. Ease your way into your three-legged dog on the left. Tripada Adho Mukha Svanasana. Hold that frame steady. Then think knee to elbow plank and try to hold for at least 5 seconds, pushing the mat strongly away, embracing your core nice and strongly. Then ease your way from here into your pigeon line. Remember, we're coming into a high pigeon this time. Relax the back knee, the back foot. You can use that block and rest the weight of your bum cheek into it if you need it. Ease your way into the pigeon line, the high pigeon line that works for you. Maybe fingertips on the mat, or play with Titanic arms. Maybe make a little fist behind your back. If you're ready for king pigeon, let's do it. Alrighty. You're going to look over that back shoulder, bring that back leg in, maybe holding with one or with both hands. And as you hold on to the foot, maybe kick the foot away from you so that you're getting a nice little stretch into the arms and the shoulders. So you're kicking that foot away and you're leveraging the foot to really open up beautifully through the shoulders. If you want to take it into full king pigeon, look over the right shoulder, maybe making a little crook with your right elbow and placing the foot into that crook, either staying here with fingertips connected to the mat or trying to find a bind behind your head and holding it for at least 5 solid seconds if you can manage it. Play, see what you can do. When you're ready to come out of it, make sure that you've eased that block out from underneath your bum so that you've got space to connect your left bum cheek to the mat. Swing the back leg over, tucking to the outside of your front knee. Make sure that you move your left foot out the way so that you can sit both of your bum cheeks into the mat. Then cross the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, maybe giving me a little stop sign or dropping that hand long and lengthened to the mat as you find your way into your little seated spinal twist. Make sure that bum is solidly connected to the mat and that you're not leaning everything into the left bum cheek. Ready to ease your way into heron? You're going to pivot, face the front of the mat. Tuck the left heel in as close to the perineum as you can. Reach for the undercarriage of the right foot and see if you can extend the leg, placing those right fingertips on the floor behind you and really trying to open up that tight little kink behind the right knee. Stay or tuck into your little rock the baby. Then the left elbow, make sure you're giving me a nice little crook so that you can place that foot into the crook. Then try to wrap around, hug your baby, maybe just bracing onto the shin and the knee, or if you've got the range of motion and you can interlace, think of making a beautiful basket for your baby and then rock her. From here, you're going to tuck into easy sit, Sukhasana, this time right leg in front. Tuck both heels in nice and close towards the perineum. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, fold forward, trying to connect the forearms as best you can to the mat. If you've managed to make that connection to the mat, make your crown even heavier, almost as if there was a little magnet pulling it down. Keep your belly button firmly pulled in and push the hips back using your forearms and your palms for leverage. Then creep just off center to one side, framing the knee with both arms. Almost taking a little bow here and thinking head to knee. Ease your way back to the center line, pushing softly through the forearms and dragging those hips back. Feeling that little bit of inner thigh and that contraction work through the belly. Then creep slightly off center to the other side. Think of framing the knee on both sides, almost thinking head to knee. And you might not get the same range of motion on both sides, so just play with it. See where your body wants to be. Bring it back to the center, and then keeping your easy sit, you can keep your current orientation. I'm just going to give you a front view. You can stay in easy sit, or you can tuck to maybe a half lotus line and bring your hands into Ravi Mudra by connecting your ring finger and your thumb. This mudra symbolizes trying to find that beautiful energy connection in the body. We're going to end with a little bit of breath work. Let's play with Satali. I'd like you to stick your tongue out. As you stick the tongue out, curl out the edges, almost making a little straw so that you can slurp the air in through your tongue. So it's going to sound something like this. Close your mouth and exhale through your nose. Rinse and repeat. Close your eyes, take your focus in, and give me at least 4 to 5 rounds in your own time. As you close the eyes and take your focus in and keep playing with that breath pattern, try to get a sense of what you're doing with your body weight. Try not to lean forward. Give me a beautiful stack of your shoulders over your hips and keep lengthening your spine to the ceiling. As you slurp that air in through your straw, feel that beautiful, refreshing, cool air run down along your throat into your lungs. And with every exhale, think of purging and getting rid of all the stale, old air in your body before you take a beautiful, refreshing new breath in. Make sure you're softening the shoulders away from your ears. Give me one last round of Satali. And then keeping your eyes gently closed. Float your hands to prayer in front of the heart, keeping the elbows softly tracking down. Lengthen beautifully through the spine and ground through your bum bones as you close your practice for today. Namaste to you all. Thank you so much for coming out and playing with me today. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Remember to shoot your comments in the comments box below and to subscribe with your notification bell on. I shall see you all for Pilates conditioning on the mat tomorrow. Till then, keep it light.